Welcome guys to the Prince Makai channel. Today I'm going to do a video about two people that left me stranded. One of them was my best friend. I was best friends with him for a year and some change. And he left me stranded because when he came down to see me in February, he's from Philly. We're going to call him Joe. Joe came down to see me. He got mad that I didn't want to order a Lyft back from the club to the motel that we were at, mind you, a motel. So he always claims everybody is so broke and everybody is so, he beneath him and he makes more money than everybody. But yet every time he came down to see me, he would get the cheapest motel, like the cheapest motel. So anyways, he got mad that I didn't want to order a Lyft back to the motel when we could have just caught the bus. The buses in DC are 24 hours. And we could have just caught the bus to save money, because at that point we were spending a lot of money on Lyfts, and both of us equally. And we were chilling outside the club, actually outside these dorms, with my friend at the time and his roommate, and he just went the fuck off on me. He was like, "You broke ass nigga, you're not gonna get no fucking Lyft. I know you got the fucking money." I'm like, "I really don't. Like, I spent all the money. Like, this whole weekend we were spending nothing but money irresponsibly, just on Lyfts, just." A lot of it was on Lyfts alone. And then we went out drinking, we went to restaurants. Like, I don't got it no more. You got it. I know you got it. So just order the Lyft. I guess in his mind, it was the principle, I guess. Like, if he paid for the last Lyft, I should be able to pay for the next one. But I really didn't have any more money. Like, I spent it all. So he thought I was just playing. Like, he thought I wasn't trying to just... He thought I had it. I just wasn't trying to do it and trying to make him do it. So he goes to fuck off on me. We get into an argument, and my friend and his roommate are trying to get in the middle, in between us. And he just takes the fuck off. He was like, I'm done. I'm out of here. He ends up walking. I'm like, let him go. Let him go. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where he's walking to, but I know he'll probably come back because we just got into an argument, you know what I'm saying, a few hours before that. Like, that whole weekend, I'll do another video on that, the time that he came down here. Mind you, this is February of this year. Haven't spoken to him since. But anyways, I'll do a whole different story time about that. But he took the fuck off. So I'm chilling with them, my friend and his roommate. And I'm like, okay, I'll see you guys later. I'm thinking that maybe he went to the McDonald's, because there is a McDonald's near there. Sorry. There is a McDonald's down there. And so I go to the McDonald's and I don't see him. And I'm like, I'm blowing up his phone. I'm calling him like, hey, where are you? Mind you, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, how are you? I mean, where are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, where are you? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just go, like, let's just go now. I don't know if you're still mad at me, but come back. Mind you, I'm the kind of person that no matter what happens, I don't care what happens. I don't care if I fought my friend. I am never going to leave my friend stranded. Anywhere. You don't leave your friends stranded. You don't disappear from your friends. That should be that's like law. But he's done this to his own ex-boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? I just never thought that he would do that shit to me. I never thought he would do that shit to me. But I'm the kind of person, like I said, when I go somewhere with my friends, we leave together, period. I don't give a fuck if we fought. I don't give a fuck what the situation is. We're going to get back to where we need to get back to together. So he obviously doesn't believe in that. What happened was I'm blowing up his phone and he's not answering at first. Then when he answers, because my friend and his roommate ended up staying there with me to make sure, I make it back to wherever I got to go safely. And I'm calling his phone. He answers. The one time he answers after I called him like 30 times, he says, I said, where are you? What are you doing? Don't worry about it. It sounds like he's in the car. So I said, are you in a Lyft? He was like, no. I said, okay, cool. I said, so are you going to come back around? And, because obviously I don't believe him. He's in the car. He hangs up on me. Make a long story short, I ended up having to take the bus, 2 buses, back to the motel. Mind you, we are kind of like in I don't want to say a bad area, but it's more of an area where anything could happen to anybody. And the fact that you left me stranded like that, weren't even answering my calls, didn't give a fuck how I got back to the motel, didn't give a fuck what happened to me, all because I didn't order the Lyft for us to lift back. I didn't have it. I spent all the money up. I had like $10 left. And at the time, we really could have just took the buses. The buses are 24 hours. But he's fake bougie. You know what I'm saying? And he wanted to just Lyft everywhere that weekend. And we didn't even have to. There was places that we were going to that were right down the street. and he just wanted to lift, calling me broke because I do shared Ubers. Or who does shared Ubers? Only broke people do shared Ubers. Yeah, but you get a motel. You get the cheapest, raggediest motel in DC every time we come here. But yet, we're all broke. You know what I'm saying? We're all broke, and you make your money, and we're all broke, and you can afford to do this, you can afford to do that. Whatever. So he ended up, getting the lift and just ditching me. I get back to the motel after like an hour trying to navigate where the fuck I was going. It was 30 degrees outside as well. Like, it was freezing. I had a little windbreaker on. I didn't even have a jacket where I would have been good. I got lost walking from the bus stop trying to find the motel. It was crazy. I got back to the motel. He wasn't even there. I'm calling him like, where you at? He was like, I'll be there soon. And so I'm like, really? So I'm on the phone with my other friend. I'm like, I'm never speaking to this man again. This man just left me stranded. Just left me stranded. So what I come to find out is that before he even got back to the motel, he stopped at the liquor store. But you're making it seem like you didn't have any money for a lift either. Like I said, it goes back to he was just trying to show me, I guess it's the principle. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. He ended up coming back with liquor. And when we get back to the motel, we got into a huge argument. My cousin was on the phone. We almost fought. Like, it was really serious. It was really bad, screaming and hollering. He threatened to call the police on me if I don't shut the fuck up or get the fuck out his room. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, right? It was crazy. Mind you, we're in the most raggedy motel possibly in the DMV. The motel was raggedy as fuck. I looked on the reviews, nothing but complaints of roaches. There was shit stains all out throughout the bathroom. The sheets had cigarette burns in them. Like, it was a raggedy ass motel. There wasn't anybody at the check-in. Like, it was that's where prostitutes go, drug addicts, murders. Like, it was just nasty. But anyways, he had to leave that early in the morning to catch the train back. We ended up falling asleep after arguing and fighting and stuff like that. He never even woke me up because he got up at like 8 o'clock. He never even woke me up and said, yo, I'm leaving, like, goodbye. Mind you, I'm going too fast. Before things eventually calmed down, we're arguing for like an hour straight. And I'm like, why the fuck would you do that? Da, 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 da. And he's laughing. He was like, haha, that's why you got ditched. That's why you got left. I was like, word? I said, after today, we don't got to see each other no more. He was like, cool. And so I'm on the phone with my cousin, and she was like, regardless of anything, you don't leave your friends, Joe. You don't leave your friends stranded. You don't do that. What if this was a Philadelphia? And Makai's not from Philadelphia, your hometown. What if this was anywhere else? Like, that's how people get sex trafficked, kidnapped, people get robbed. Anything can happen to people when you guys, a group of people or friends, disperse. And the fact that you left him stranded all because he didn't pay for the lift back, and you didn't give a fuck what happened to him, and now that he's made it back to the motel, instead of taking accountability and being like, you know what, even though I was really mad at you, even though, you pissed me off, I shouldn't have left you stranded. Period. That's all he had to say. I'm sorry for leaving you stranded. Everything else, you know what I'm saying? Had he not left me stranded, his whole behavior that whole weekend, I probably would have been able to look past, and we probably would have still been friends. Because he also did some other stuff, just embarrassing me, being the drunk, in public and being intoxicated the whole time he was there, just acting up. That's what he does anyways. I've been around that. I probably would have forgiven him. I just probably needed time to myself. But because he left me stranded, I could never speak to him again. And the fact that he left me stranded and we got back to the motel and we're arguing and he's throwing it in my face like, haha, that's why you got stranded. Then when we're arguing, he's threatening to call the police on me and have me escorted out, you know what I'm saying, the motel. Like, that's something that's unforgivable. I could never get past that. I'm sorry. You don't leave your friends stranded and then throw it in their face and laugh like it's funny. Never even apologize. So he woke up like 8 o'clock in the morning. I was in and out of my sleep, so I heard him leave. But I was like, you know how you're in and out of your sleep, and it's like you're in the dream, but you hear what's going on out there, but you're not waking up because you're sleeping. So I heard him leave, and never even woke me up and said, hey, I'm leaving, goodbye. None of that. No, he even said before we went to sleep, he told me in front of my cousin on the phone that if you never want to speak to me again, I kind of understand. Like, it's up to Makai if he wants to still be cool with me. And I'm like, you know what? I need to think about this. So when he left, he never said a word. Never said a word. I said, you know what? I'm gonna give him a week. Mind you, this is the first big blow up we ever had, and he's never done nothing like this before. So I said, I'm gonna give him a week to apologize. A week went by, I never even heard from him. He's viewing my stories. He's you know what I'm saying, like on Instagram, you know, he's viewing my snaps. Never even had the decency as a human being, as someone that I thought was my friend, right? Because every time that he's came to see me in DC, I made sure that he got back to Philadelphia safe and sound. When him and his ex-boyfriend last year came for his birthday in June, acting the fuck up, they almost got us shot the fuck up one time. During the time they came, actually, to be honest with you, they were acting the fuck up, drunk, belligerent. I made sure I stood by their side, and my ex-boyfriend at the time was hanging out with us, and he was like, let's ditch them, like, let's go back to Annapolis, like, I don't want to be here with these people no more, they're embarrassing, they're getting into arguments with random people on the street, like, we can get killed out here. I said, no, I'm sticking by their side, and I'm making sure that we get back to the motel and everything. So the fact that you turn around and didn't even do the same for me, I can never be cool with him again. And I was so hurt because him and I were best friends. We talked on the phone every day. Every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I stood up for him so many times. We were in this group chat, and when everyone was coming at him and when everyone would be arguing with him, I stood by his side and I stood up for him. You know what I'm saying? Almost to the point where like I was kissing his ass. So the fact that you showed me your ass to kiss and you did the number one thing you should never do to a friend, which is leave them stranded somewhere, never even apologize after a week, I blocked him on everything. On everything. And I have not spoken to him since. Then I talked to his ex, and who was also my friend and who was also in the group chat, and he told me he did the same thing to him. They were at each other's he was at his ex's house, and he wanted to go somewhere. He didn't want his ex to come with him, and Joe sneakingly ordered the lift, waited till his ex-boyfriend went to the bathroom. His ex-boyfriend thinks that they're leaving together because he said, yeah, you can come with me. Tell me why his ex-boyfriend, let's just call him Mark, comes out of the bathroom, looks out the window, and there is Joe getting into the Lyft or the Uber. Yeah, he does that all the time. You know, I found out later on. Didn't even have the decency to say, hey, you know what? I changed my mind. I kind of want to, go by myself. I'll be back. Nah. So Mark is running to the car like, hey, wait up, wait for me. Joe was telling the guy to drive off. Mark grabs the door, and Joe is like trying to close the door on him and trying to kind of like kick his hand and close the door, and they take off. But, and he also told me some stories before, but I just never thought that Joe would turn around and do that to me. So to this day, I have not spoken to Joe. I would never speak to Joe, ever again. I'm sorry. Friends get into arguments, they get into fights, all of that. But the number one thing I feel like you don't do, what if this was anywhere else that I didn't know where I was going, where I was at? Like, that's very dangerous. And, I don't know. That's unforgivable. I don't want to say unforgivable. I think eventually I will forgive him. I'm not angry with him anymore, but I'm still kind of a little bit upset with him still about that. I can get to a point because I do eventually get over things, but I know that we can never be cool or cordial again. I'm sorry. I just can't do that. But that's the time when my friend left me stranded in DC. And I'm going to do part 2 about how another person left me stranded in the same spot, in the same area, which is crazy. I'm going to do a part 2.